Why don't you just use the word fairness? So why don't we just talk about fairness and fuck this altruism crap, okay, like welfare. Now let's talk about being fucking fair. If you're going to judge human beings based on their accomplishment in their life, then obviously you have to have a fucking fair fight from the beginning. You have to have a rational fucking starting line. And if you're not going to rationally make that starting line fair, then you have no fucking argument. None whatsoever. Absolutely no fucking argument can be made if you're not going to fix the starting line.
I think it should be promoted. It should be a promoted concept that, hey, you know, it's a good thing to give back a little bit to the little guy who doesn't have that much.
Yeah, no, he's not a little guy. He's, like I said, the guy doing most of the productive work. All right, he's the human being who didn't inherit a silver spoon up his fucking ass. This is just disgusting that you would resort to this kind of putrid rhetoric.
I do. I don't think it should be enforced. I think it should be a choice. And people have that choice. They can donate to charitable organizations that are designed.
Well, I guess obviously some kid growing up in Harlem going to a fucking school where everybody's carrying a knife or a 9mm, he doesn't have the same fucking choices, does he? No, he doesn't. So maybe until we give him the same fucking choices, you got no fucking argument.
People who are in financial need or have fallen and picking up from their community. Yeah.
Yes, people who aren't at the same place, aren't competing in the same fight. Again, you're going to sit there and say, okay, well, we can't cut the guy who only has one arm a break in this fight for life. And then you're going to ridicule him. Yeah, of course you can. And this has nothing to do with altruism. It has to do with being fucking fair. If you're going to sit there and force people to earn their way, then you have to give them a fair fucking fight. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're a fucking weasel. You're a fucking goddamn candy-stealing, baby-beaten, woman-beaten fucking scumbag.
Charities. People can give to them voluntarily. I think it's great. I think people should, and I think more people understand how charities work, like the tax benefits that you get from donating to charities, and people will be more likely to donate to charities.
You don't get tax benefits per se. What you get is the privilege of avoiding taxes. Okay, so you get to take some percentage of your money, and you get to decide how it's spent, rather than allowing the government to spend it on jackasses in the fucking military. Who we should just abandon. No, we shouldn't even extract you assholes from your goddamn warmongering bullshit and mercenary fucking adventures. What we should do is just stop paying you and force you to walk the fuck home, you fucking pieces of shit.
I know back in the old days it was a pain in the ass. You had to call up, some telephone's going on, you had to give your pledge. Nowadays it's not that fucking hard. Nowadays, I remember when the Haiti earthquake.
I'll get real. Most of these charities spend more on their infrastructure than they spend on actual services provided, and they actually provide a service. It's usually built on some more infrastructure because they end up hiring some private organization to go rip off some more money, glean their profit out of the deal. So it's a tiny percentage of the money that ends up doing any productive fucking work in the world.
Happened. All you had to do is pull out your cell phone and send a text message, and they would add this $10 onto your cell phone bill. It's not that hard nowadays. It's really not that hard to get it.
Yeah, well, it'd be a lot easier if the way you gave it was just to pay the fucking taxes, and then you wouldn't have to tax assholes for smoking cigarettes. You wouldn't have to tax them for buying a lottery ticket or gambling or whatever other vice you're going to fucking tax. Then you could pay the fucking bills of the government instead of, forcing people to pay taxes to subsidize other people's fucking kids.
Back, it really is. And a lot of people are more willing to do it. And I think a lot of people are turned off by the idea of charities because they don't understand how to go about finding good charities because they hear about scams and things like that and they don't understand what to look for.
Again, they ought to get rid of the tax deduction for charitable contributions. It's just bullshit. It's just a way of subverting doing what needs to be done anyway. Okay, the government has to pay its fucking bills. It's not paying its fucking bills. We got $13-14 trillion worth of recognized debt. We probably have closer to $20 trillion in real fucking goddamn debt. And why? Because people won't pay their fucking taxes because assholes like you think you can run a civilization, okay, without any coherent infrastructure. You're a fucking moron.
If I was in charge of the education system in American public schools, I'd probably design a mandatory course that went into, tax structure and charities and talk to people about all these, programs.
All these stupid ways around the system. Let's take the long way around and waste as much money as possible to provide the service. So instead of doing it directly and efficiently, let's find some preposterously stupid way to solve the problem. Fuck you.
To raise awareness, I guess you could say, so that, it would probably get people more sense of a little back. I don't like the idea of people being taxed a higher percentage just because they made more money.
Again, just because they were born possessing more ownership. Okay, because they were born with a huge, gigantic head start in the fucking race where you're going to judge people based on their accomplishment or their standing in that race. It is just a fucking disgusting cheat. You're a goddamn petty asshole to sit there and apply this judgment, and worse, to sit there from your position in the world, to sit there and look at it and admire the assholes. I mean, goddamn, you're admiring the wrong end of the fucking scale, jackass. You're embracing the fucking turd and throwing the baby in the sewer, but that probably just fits perfectly with your scumbag mentality. You're such a piece of dirt.
And using that money to fund programs to ensure that people who didn't work that hard to make that much money are able to get by with their minimum because they just be dependent on these programs. Now, that's the problem I have with liberalism, essentially, is the socialist programs, or social programs and progressive tax structure. Now,
yeah, well, I mean, how far you want to take that? Like I said, I think it's a real problem to subsidize reproduction because then you're encouraging it. So would you agree that we shouldn't be subsidizing reproduction? We shouldn't be taking care of people's children for them. We should force them to pay the bills. And I'm doing force. If they're going to have the kids, then we're going to force them to pay for its education. Make sure they take proper care of it, and we'll extract it out of their blood if we have to.
I don't think it makes me conservative. I would find myself as a libertarian. I'm a big fan of low taxes, small government, and maximizing the freedom of the individual.
Yeah, you're a selfish motherfucking prick who has no conception of what it takes to have something called civilization. And if you assholes like you ran the fucking world, yeah, we would have a bunch of pyramids, we'd have no canals, and our civilization would crash, fly right the fuck over the cliff onto the rocks, where it's heading now, because assholes like you, Reaganomic nonsense, okay, have ruined our economy.
As long as you're not, infringing on anyone else's rights, I think you have the right to do and live your life as you see fit.
And even if you inherited the keys to the car, you should have a license to drive, right? Why don't we just inherit our licenses, our driver's licenses? I mean, if we're going to be able to inherit the control over the economy, why we should just be able to inherit every fucking thing else, right? Why should we have to earn anything? We'll just be born to it. What a brilliant idea. God, anybody got a pitchfork for this guy?
God forbid, someone believes something like that. But I know you're thinking, you're like that. How the world works guy, that Lee Doran, he's a libertarian too. Well, yeah. Yeah,
you're a retard. Yeah, right. You're a selfish, motherfucking, ignorant, dumb retard. Okay, we got it. And you also puppies. You've got to smell like shit. You've just got to.
I don't always side with the rights. In fact, I almost always side with the liberal when it comes to politics on any level of government, and I'll tell you why. Despite the fact that
yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, what did you just say? Sorry. You disagree, but you side with. That makes sense.
Discuss it with the social programs that are pushed by the left and high taxes. I can adapt. I can adapt to any kind of economic environment. It's not that hard, for me at least.
No, you won't. I bet you couldn't adapt to monarchy. I bet you really couldn't. I really bet you couldn't. I've experienced times where I had no money. I've experienced times when I had a lot of money. I've experienced times when things were going well for my parents and things weren't going so well for my parents, and we struggled, and sometimes we didn't struggle like that. So I've lived in good neighborhoods. I've lived in bad neighborhoods because of our financial situations. In fact, I've even lived in a couple of homeless shelters. So I've experienced both sides of the coin as far as economic level. And I can adapt to any kind of environment just because I've experienced a little bit of everything, except for maybe like upper class. No, I don't have that kind of money, never have, but I wasn't born into it, so I'll probably never have it unless, of course, I make something of myself or become like a big old famous YouTube celebrity and invest in Apple or something. Yeah, get a little gayer, you could probably work it out. Just do that little gay voice, a little more of that, and you'll probably be on your road to YouTube stardom.
Assuming, of course, that the iPad 2 is actually worth buying, and they're going to come out with one. But I refuse to adapt to any kind of social structure in which there are some Americans who aren't granted the same rights as other Americans.
Oh, right. So they should have the same rights, but they shouldn't have a fair economy. So they should have rights in this part of the reality, but this part of the reality, they shouldn't have rights to those things. So there should be fairness over here, but no fairness over there. Fuck you, idiot.
Where we systematically create second-class citizens because we bigots, etc. Which is why I almost never...
Yeah, well, you're obviously a bigot against people not born with a silver spoon up their ass. God damn, you made it quite clear.
Will almost never vote for a Republican candidate in politics. I just can't do it. I supported Obama. I would have voted for Obama, but my vote would have meant nothing because I was actually living in Idaho during the presidential campaign, and he wasn't living in Idaho. I think I was the only person. Yeah, well, popular vote does matter, though, regardless, symbolically. Yeah, whatever. Obama was a lousy choice. He's a fucking millionaire. He's not a Democrat. Who would have voted for Obama in the state of Idaho had I voted, but I was rooting for him to win. I was because socially, I'm socially liberal as far as civil rights and gay marriage, all that shit. But as far as economics,
yeah, well, Obama's been just brilliant on those subjects, boy. He's really done a job for us. Yeah, I don't think he can't even open his mouth on anything that matters. But whatever, that's a whole different subject. He obviously was better than the alternative, which was Goebbels or whatever the fuck his name was.
And tax structure and development programs and things like that. Those make me sick, but not sick enough for me to want to vote for Republicans. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the fact that people only pay 18% income tax on dividend money they inherited ownership of, dividend, income-producing assets they inherited, that's okay with you. That's the way it should be. That's rational economics, rational, fair economics. Fuck you.
Anyway, I think that would be great. If you guys want to, argue, debate, whatever. I mean, my mind, I'll keep it up in mind. I mean, I'm willing to change my mind.
Then why do you bother making fucking videos? Why don't you watch fucking videos, all right? If your mind is mushy and you're uncertain what fairness is and you're uncertain what the right thing to do is and all this stuff, then why the fuck are you opening your fucking goddamn weaselly fucking dirty face? Why don't you wait till you know something and then fucking talk about it?
Place enough. So, if you think I'm wrong on any points I've made, or if I've said anything that might be, factually incorrect, feel free to correct me.
Yeah, everything about what you said is incorrect. You have no conception of what civilization requires. You have no conception of the basic components of civilization, which is this concept of fairness. The thing that makes every game human beings play makes sense is the idea that we force fairness into the fucking game. All right, nobody's going to show up if there isn't fairness. They're going to say, well, fuck, if it's rigged, if it's fixed, I don't want it. I don't want it. They want to see a real contest. They want to see something where the cream rises to the top, not the guy willing to shove a goddamn fucking vial full of pink liquid into his veins. They want the real show, not the fake goddamn silicone show. Asshole.
But post a big response if you want. I'll watch them all. I will on this particular video anyway. So Yes, good stuff.
Yeah, absolute crap. No, it's horrible stuff. You're just wasting the goddamn time again. You got to sit there and just throw this simplistic jargon out at the ignorant, your dumb, fucking ignorant audience who they probably stopped paying attention after you stopped talking about a bag full of pubic hair. That's probably all they cared about to hear about, and that's the fucking reality. And you didn't smack them in the face and say, look, you assholes, we're here on a civilization. We got to work for something better than we have. Most people are living in shit, and so a tiny percentage of the human population can sit there and play games with other people's lives. I mean, that's the fucking reality, and you did nothing to encourage something better to happen in this world. You're just a fucking useless drain on the human fucking race. You're a piece of fucking human garbage, useless, unproductive, destructive, malicious piece of crap. There. Satisfied with this response, are you? Fucktard. Oh, I called him a fucktard. Oh, no. Oh, my God, how fucking outrageous. It's not like I was suggesting somebody should, beat up and rape a fucking prostitute. No, that would be okay to joke about, but don't say fucktard. God damn assholes on the internet.